Hello everyone, welcome back for some cross-country flight. It's been a while. It has been a while. So today's destination is going to be Arcadia, Louisiana. So let me go into Louisiana and click on Arcadia. Visual flight. Change this altitude to something more appropriate. And then let's hit the air, and let's hit these, and let's hit the skies. Just let the game load, and then oh shoot, I did the wrong aircraft. LOL, we picked the wrong aircraft. Hold on, guys. Let me just quickly change that, and then I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, I picked the right aircraft, so I'll see you at the airport when we spawn in. Or never mind, because we're gonna spawn in right now anyway. Alright, so let me lower the volume a touch, so that we don't hear just blaring noise. So, let's turn on, keep the beacons on, landing lights can go on, taxi, nav, and strobe. Pretty much every single light can pretty much go on right now. And then, here's our navigation system. We need this, so that we know where we're going. We're going to be crossing into the state of Louisiana, crossing over the Mississippi, which is right here. So I think that's about it, so, let's go. Only problem is that I don't know where the highway is, which is not good, because we kind of need to know where the highway is, unless, oh, don't worry, we'll find it. Okay, so, let's rotate. So currently we are going in which direction are we going? North, pretty much? So we're going north, which is pretty good, because that's pretty much the direction we need to go in. We're kind of going northeast a little bit. Let's see. I think I see the highway from here. It's gonna take a little searching to find the highway, but you know what? I can't look it up on the phone map because apparently the airport must be closed in real life now. Alright, I'm guessing it's still a little too loud. I don't even think you guys can hear me very well, so maybe that'll help, maybe that won't. Is this the town of Edwards, Mississippi? I hope it is. Trying to backtrack. Maybe I should try to backtrack with clues. See what's nearby, and then try to calculate where we need to go. Maybe by checking out the Jackson approach. I know, it's not going to do anything. I see it. I see the highway. See those dots? That's the highway. So we took care of the... Let's cut the throttle, and we need to cut down a couple feet. Yep, there's the highway right there. We're just cutting across Edwards, Mississippi right now. Anyone from Edwards, Mississippi? Don't know if there are any. Don't think there are, at least. Would surprise me. We put the phone map over here. Alright, so now we are merging on with the I-20. Now departing Edwards, Mississippi. We're going to be crossing over a tiny little waterway. I don't know what it's exactly called. I can't necessarily tell from the phone map here. It's not the Mississippi that we're crossing just yet. We haven't even left Mississippi yet. So it's got to be something else. Plus, we're not at the border. Mississippi River's at the border. And it goes to New Orleans. Looks like quite a fast trip over to Louisiana today. Then we have to go through Texas. And I think that and I believe that part of Texas is on Mountain Time. Probably not. I think it's in New Mexico. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We still have a lot of Texas. We still haven't left Mississippi or Louisiana. And they both keep us from Texas. Which is going to be a pretty interesting state, because Texas is pretty much California Midwest. Texas is pretty much California Midwest, to repeat that idea again. It has some fields, some forests, definitely some cities, Houston and Dallas, two big ones, and that's pretty much it. Well, there are other cities, like Amarillo, which you probably are yelling at me, "It's Amarillo!" And yes, it is. But why do you think it was named, why do you think the city was called Yellow? I'm just asking you, why do you think that city was named Yellow? Exactly, Texas was Mexico for part of some time. But it came independent with the US of A. Now just crossing through more Mississippian forests. Louisiana's gonna pretty much be the same, and so will the eastern part of Texas. Up until past, we still haven't passed Dallas. Once we get past Dallas, I believe it's gonna start getting more flat. But we still have about 3 more episodes, so not until December will we probably be reaching over into Texas. I cannot wait for Texas. Texas is gonna be a nice feat to get across. Apparently we crossed the waterway already, because this is already the next town, but it's not a town. Necessarily. Oh yeah, wait. Is that a town? No, it isn't. I wonder what this place is. There's another town called Bovina coming up. Sounds Yugoslavian to me, whatever country it's from. Well, maybe not, maybe it doesn't sound like that. I don't know. That's what it sounds like. Maybe it was just the way I pronounced it. Because I know it's actually supposed to be Bovina. It's probably supposed to be Bovina. Or Bovina. I'm just probably humorsing. I'm pretty much humorsing people that aren't from Mississippi and insulting people that are from Mississippi right now. So yeah, if you know Mississippi, well, just leave a comment below. Tell me what it's pronounced. Tell me how it's pronounced, not what it's pronounced, how. Now we need to contact Memphis Center. Wait, Memphis Center? Why are we contacting that? Isn't that in Tennessee? How far is it from this place? Let me zoom out on the phone map. Not that far, actually. Just north on the 55 probably would take you straight there. Or, sorry, changing that up. It will take you there. See how much longer? 57 minutes to see. This is the Mississippi. And this line here, Louisiana border, that's what the Mississippi used to look like. And you're probably thinking, you're crazy. And I am not. That is right. Back in 1700s, 1800s, whenever Louisiana was colonized, or, well, Louisiana's been around since settlers went there. Louisiana just basically used to be the whole land that went north from where Louisiana is currently, all the way up north toward, I don't know, North Dakota, Minnesota, and even farther west. Went about west all the way to the eastern border of Wyoming or something like that. But then came the Louisiana Purchase, which I don't know much about at the moment. With my school studies, we're kind of going ahead of it at the moment. Currently, my school studies are still all the way back in Georgia, but we're nearing the Mississippi. So yeah, I can't give. All I know is that Louisiana, it was the Louisiana Purchase in about 1802, and eventually, when they started creating the states, they downsized Louisiana down to Louisiana. In about, I don't know, 1820, maybe? Hard to remember when 50. All I know is that Alaska is in Hawaii. Alaska was January 1959, and Hawaii was August 1959, and 1788 was when the first 5 or 6 colonies. Well, 1787 was Delaware and Pennsylvania, and then 1788 were New Jersey and Pennsylvania, Connecticut. And what was the next one after that? Confusion Hype. What is this? We better research this. I gotta see what this is. Oh, I see what this is. I see what this is. Since we're so close to the Louisiana border, woohoo. Basically, what the map is saying, since right now we are in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and what's happening, let me just pause it keep it paused. What's happening is that this map is thinking that this exit alone, since it's such a long exit, that it's basically a highway on its own. So that's pretty much what that's doing, but don't worry, this is not an interstate highway, that's just an exit onto the US 61, which, as you're gonna see right now, does not generate traffic on it. Oh wait, you can't see it because we're a little plane kind of obstructs the view of that, but you know what? So be it. Let's cross the Mississippi River. Okay, so what we were talking about is that how Mississippi River in the 1800s looked just like the Louisiana border. However, Mississippi River changed, what is that word? Eroded and all that. And that's the Mississippi down below. No traffic's being generated on the bridge because it just looks so whacked up. And now we are in the state of Louisiana. Currently in Delta, Louisiana. What a great name. For a part of Louisiana that kind of looks like the Horn of Africa. Well, hold on. I'm a little bit, confused here. Isn't this supposed to be the I-20 continuation? Isn't there any traffic? Maybe we just have to go a couple... Maybe we went the wrong way. I think we went the wrong way. Let me see something for a second. Let me see which way we're going. We're going west. We're on the Delta. And there's no other road on the Delta. Well, there is. It's US 20. I mean, no, US 80. Not Interstate 80. US 80. But US 80, literally the highway would be right here. And it doesn't seem to be. So, I don't know what's going on. Must just be a glitch. Was a solar eclipse supposed to is a solar eclipse supposed to happen? Never mind, because guess what? Look what I see there. Cars, and guess what I see there? A truck. Guess what I see there? A bus. That just disappeared. Yay! We just met up with more traffic as we enter toward Mound, Louisiana. Mound, Louisiana, coming in with some pretty original names. Delta, Louisiana, Mound, Louisiana. The Vicksburg, Tallulah. It's Tallulah. Vicksburg, Tallulah Regional Airport is in Mound, Louisiana. We just crossed over from Vicksburg to Delta, so... And no, Delta Airlines does not have HQ here. First of all, we're in the middle of nowhere. Pretty much we're in the middle of nowhere right now. Even though there's an interstate highway, interstate highways, if you live in Connecticut or New York or New Jersey, like I live in that area, you're used to highways not going through rural areas that barely have that have populations that are so low. You're used to there being county roads or US highways to those small little towns. But here is the opposite. We've got interstate highways going through the random towns. Sure, you have US highways and state routes that go straight through small towns, but the thing about interstate highways is that they're just trying to get from one major city to another major city. Here's the thing, every single major highway has to have... not every major highway, every major city needs to have a major highway that goes through it. New York and San Francisco and Omaha and Salt Lake City, Reno. What other cities go through 80? Chicago, Cleveland. All of those places are connected by I-80. And then through 90, you have Buffalo, Erie. You have Seattle. What else? Also Chicago. 70 goes through Denver and St. Louis, Kansas. No, not Kansas. Yeah, Kansas City. Maybe Topeka. I'm not sure. I think Topeka's accessed by the I-35. I don't want to check right now because we just got way off topic. We started talking. Every major city has to have a major highway that goes through it. So pretty much, if you're going from a major city, for example, if I wanted to get from Annapolis, Maryland, Maybe not Annapolis, because that's not too big of a city. How about if I want to get from Baltimore, Maryland to New York, New York? Easy, you're going to take a major highway. And what is that major highway, you may guess? Interstate 95. Two major cities connected by an interstate highway. And even though 95 does go through New Jersey, it actually goes through some pretty rural areas of New Jersey. Maybe not rural. Well, yeah, rural areas of New Jersey. Sure, when it meets the Delaware River, it does have... It's pretty... I think it's industrial, but I'm not exactly sure. I guess kind of like the Mississippi crossing we just crossed. But... yeah, I think you understand. Right now, we're pretty much on the stretch that goes from Jackson, Mississippi to Shreveport, Louisiana, which, in a way, are two major cities. Maybe Jackson, Mississippi and Shreveport, Louisiana aren't the touristy cities like Memphis or Chicago or New York or San Francisco, but they're still major cities. People still live there. They're still metropolitan areas. Maybe not metropolitan areas. Well, yeah, metropolitan areas. And, as a matter of fact, interstate highways do not have to go through a major city. I mean, seriously. First episode of Cross Country Flight, we took the I-684 south. I-684 doesn't go through a major city, but it doesn't go through, because there is a metropolitan area called White Plains, New York, but it doesn't go through there. It doesn't go through White Plains. It goes through the suburban areas of White Plains. I should know. I'm on that highway at least once a month, maybe even twice a month if I'm lucky. Over the summer, it could possibly be 3 times a month. But the point I'm trying to make is that when they're planning an interstate highway, what they're trying to do is they're trying to just make use of the land that they have. But they're not gonna make... But here's another factor that they have to face when they're making interstate highways. One thing they're not gonna do is just make a highway that just goes directly straight from Jackson, Mississippi to Shreveport, Louisiana, or from New York, New York to Trenton, New Jersey, which they don't even have a direct highway system to and from there. You have to take the I-195 from I-95 to get to Trenton. Trenton may not be the most touristy city in the country, but it's still a metropolitan area. But an interstate highway doesn't go from there because you already have the I-195. If it's a spur highway, for example, 195, 280, there's one in New Jersey and in California. The 110, they don't have, first of all, the 110 goes from one side of Los Angeles to the other side of Los Angeles. It doesn't go from Los Angeles to, say, Bakersfield, which isn't even a major city, to tell you that. It's just a town that was put on American Truck Simulator. I still knew about it before American Truck Simulator. You could have asked me, have you ever heard of Bakersfield, and I would have still been like, yeah. But But yeah, I think you understand that. That a major highway, if it only has 2 digits or 1 digit in it, which there aren't many only 1-digit highways are, well, Hawaii. Hawaii is just, in Hawaii, it's not called Interstate 1 or Interstate 2. We call it Hawaii 1, Hawaii 2, Hawaii 3, Hawaii 4, even though it's not a state route. And these are the only interstate highways in the entire area, in the entire island, to just tell you. They still link you from Honolulu to wherever you gotta go, and oh shoot, we have a power line in the middle of the highway. Dodge power line hype! Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Gain altitude, gain altitude, gain altitude. So you're probably wondering why we just gained altitude just there. Cut the throttle. Well, that's just because we were about to crash into a tree. And you know how much I hate crashing into trees when we're halfway through the journey. Which really will suck. You go halfway through the journey and nothing happens. Let's zoom out here and say, hey, we're going to 5 Foxtrot 0. It's not Oscar, it's 5 Foxtrot 0. We're still a little too high up, so I'm going to lower the throttle and I'm going to descend a little bit. And once we descend, we should probably keep to where we promised. So that's what I was talking about. If there's a spur, there's no need for a link. The 215 only just goes around Salt Lake City. I-10 just transports people from maybe Van Nuys to down south near Mexico. And that's pretty much it with interstate highways. Interstate highways just, they probably used to be colonial routes through desolate country, but in the 1950s and 1960s, once Eisenhower became president, Eisenhower is the one who started the highway system, which is why if you're driving down highways, you'll likely see Eisenhower Interstate Highway System signs on the interstate signs, which is exactly what I'm trying to tell you. I've seen them. You've probably seen them. We've all seen them. All of you have probably been on an interstate highway before. Has to have been. No way. If you're scared of highways, shame of you. Because guess what? Even though they're more highway accident prone, accidents are still not too likely. Even though, yeah, there are 125 deaths for every one person, for every 125 people, 1 death. Let's say if you gathered an entire high school class, because I don't know, some high schools might be 125. The high school near where I live has a class of 390, I think. I believe, I'm not sure. 125 could possibly be a big enough high school class. That's like taking an entire high school grade and saying one of you could possibly get in a... But let's not hope that happens. I'm not trying to hope that happens. I'm just saying. You know, it's times like that when you wonder if you're going uphill or not, when you can't tell. Actually, it looks like we are. Looks like we're slightly going uphill. Wouldn't it be surprising, because in Louisiana they do have some hills. Don't be surprising. Don't be surprised. But just look at that, it looks like an end of a ridge over there. It looks so weird. Either the incline begins there, the grade begins there, or guess what else ends there? This incline. I'm taking a short vow of silence now, till we get toward those cell towers over there. So don't expect me to talk for a little bit. I hope you enjoyed that vow of silence. I'm very sorry it was short. I bet my classmates are currently laughing right now, but you know what? Doesn't matter, because we are going through some pretty interesting landscapes right now. Last time we saw this was back in Alabama. So if you think that Louisiana are swamplands, well, technically not exactly. Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi are forests. And they're gonna stay to be forests. Maybe swamps by the Mississippi, but I haven't seen a single swamp this entire trip. And we'd be able to tell a swamp because the water would be black. Blacker. More black. Describe it like that. We're flying near people's homes, conveniently located next to the highway, so that they can get to work way easier. So no, we are not going to be going through Shreveport. We're not going past Shreveport. Instead, what we're doing is we're going to go to Arcadia, which, let me just quickly pause the game and check on the phone map where that is located. Right here. Obviously, we're going to place it over here in Monroe, Louisiana, which is probably just a bigger town of some sorts. Not exactly a city, but it does have a waterway that goes through it, which will signify that we're in Monroe. Well, it won't, because that's technically a waterway there, and that's not a swamp. That isn't a swamp. That's a river. I'm gonna try to figure out right now what river it is. Doesn't look like it goes that far, and doesn't look like we... So we're already up here near Monroe. That's interesting. Let me just check and confirm this quickly. Well, it doesn't necessarily say, so... Well, I can obviously tell that this Kilo Mike Lima uniform is probably Monroe. As 5 Foxtrot 0 is just, as I just said. Louisiana. Next episode we will be in Texas. Which, yeah, I did say in a more country accent, Texas. For people that don't live in Texas, it's a little fun to be talking about. about other states like that. I'm sure in Texas you like to call us up here Yankees anyway, so I don't see what's wrong with me saying Texas anyway. And it just leads you to wonder if flying through Louisiana is dangerous or not. Now, since we've technically left the big southern states, we're still in the Confederate States. Louisiana is a Confederate state. That doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying, places that used to be racist in the 1800s, we haven't left that area, and we won't be out of that area for 3 more episodes anyway. 4 more episodes even. Highways are getting pretty busy at this moment in time. Just look at it. It looks pretty busy, but it's not as busy. It's not as busy as you think, but it's still pretty busy. Busier than I'd expect. Rural I-20. By the way, I-20 doesn't necessarily go through many big cities. I-10 goes through Jacksonville and Pensacola and Houston, Austin. It goes through, what's that other town called? Well, we're meeting up with I-10. Where are we meeting up with it? In Texas somewhere. San Antonio. Wait, no, we don't meet up in San Antonio. We just meet up in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of Texas. Okay, let's just stop saying Texas because it's getting a little weird now. Let me just relocate to I-20 because we kind of just lost where we were going. Monroe, there we go. How far are we from Kilo Mike Lima uniform? Not that much farther. We still have 35 minutes before we reach the airport. That will change to about 30 minutes because we're going to speed up the last give and take 20-25 nautical miles. And since we're not... Actually, I thought that it was going to be Texas before we saw a real big change in landscape, but it seems like Louisiana is a pretty big change. I mean, did you just see how many trees we were passing? This is the first time we've been experiencing these plains. I thought Louisiana was just going to be another big forest. Maybe that part that we just went through was, but now, not so much. And why does the AI traffic give... Okay, next time we pass by a truck, I need to pause the game and see what it looks like. I suggest you don't pause the game and go back and see what that was, because I'm just going to be showing you anyway. Keep in mind that Atlanta was left 3 episode hours ago. Well, 4 actually, because we left 6:50 Alabama game time, we should call it. And it's about 11:15 Louisiana game time now. So, yeah. Alright, so I think that truck has that weird blue... Nah, it doesn't have a blue logo on it. Same as this truck, probably. Pretty much why the vehicles just disappear in the middle of nowhere, I think it's obvious. They didn't just plant one segment of road that's connected all the way from from the middle of Texas where it meets with I-10 all the way to Atlanta and farther. No, they made different segments, and vehicles disappear and reappear as we go through the town of Monroe, Louisiana. I am just literally bird-eyeing right now, just to see if I can find a truck that I want to pause and look at the back of it, but apparently not just yet. More vehicles are disappearing. I need plenty of warning before we see a truck. Each segment is about 1 or 2, maybe 3 miles long, and then it just pauses and traffic disappears and then just reappears. They don't disappear that often in cities because normally that's just one long section. They're not expecting many flight enthusiasts to just stalk a highway all the way across the country. No, they expect them to be flying so high up above the highway that the highway is a thing of truck sims and bus sims and no other sims. But cars on the road are actually a very big part of flight sim. For example, if you're taking off out of an airport and it's near the highway, you're obviously going to want to have the highway be one segment. But in the middle of nowhere, you don't need the highway to be one section. They don't expect people to be stalking the highway all across country. Last time we went through plains this treeless was back over in Pennsylvania and all that. When you want that certain truck to be generated, to be AI generated, that's when it doesn't get generated. It's been mathematically proven that if you forget about it, that it'll appear so often. I'm literally just waiting for it to just pop up. But to get back on topic, the scenery does change. And that's the best part about this series and what you're going to learn about in this series. Yes, it looks like all the oncoming... yes, to the perspective of the AI, it would look like we were going to be crashing into them any second now, but we're not. We're an expert pilot. We know how to fly a plane. We know how to steer it. And see what I mean? Landscapes don't change sometimes. You could be flying through plains for 15-20 minutes like we just did, and then all of a sudden these evergreen trees just pop up, and then you're just sitting there in your chair playing FSX just wondering what just happened. Probably what just happened is that so many of those trucks with that specific back got generated, and now there's just an evening out. But anyway, so then you go through. We just went through some pretty desert-like plains, and now it all looks like farmland now. And foresty. Now, we're just checking the map out again. Which it looks like we are only 52 nautical miles. So we're going to do something that we completely forgot to do all episode. Airport names. Huenfeld. You'd think it would be Huenfield, but you know what? Hooks Memorial. Reno Flight Park. I thought that was in... Nevada. Oh well. Cuba Farm, I thought that was back in Alabama. But of course it has Lima Alpha, which obviously means Louisiana. Williams Flying Service. And Greg's Flying Service. Yeesh, did these two used to be best friends and then they decided, I want to open up a flying service. And then Greg said, oh no, I want to do a flying service. And that's pretty much why they're not friends anymore. I wonder if that's the reason why. Circle G. Oh, I guess Steven's flying service used to be friends with Greg, but then Greg and Steve stopped being friends. I guess that's what happened. Wouldn't that just be totally amazing if that was reality? If that was reality, I think my jaw would probably go through the floor and through the ground and to the Earth's core and back and then back again. And then why do they just... I think I know why they have this texturing. It's because they think it's flat. Too flat, but then it's not. It's an airport over there. What airport is it? But we'll just keep getting closer and closer to Arcadia, Louisiana, and the sad ending of this episode. We'll be going through a lot of sea towns. The next one's gonna be Calhoun. If we didn't just go through there. And then comes Chowdrant. And then comes Ruston. And traffic's picking up. You can completely tell. Well, probably... Oh, shoot. In all that commotion, I completely forgot to look for those trucks that I wanted to look for with those backs. But I guess we're probably not going to get them at this point. Even though we're crossing over a fairly large amount of cars and trucks at this point. Then we have Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones Flying Service, where we used to be friends with Greg and Steve, but you know what, we decided to stop being friends. Cutting throttle. Oh shoot, maybe not this slow. There we go. Yeah, this kind of will give you a better background of how busy the traffic is. I just don't want to hit any of these trucks and buses and cars and RVs. So, I'm gonna try to stay over here and not hit anyone. So we have Bobby Jones, we have Williams, and we have Stevens, and we have Greggs. We have Williams, we have Stevens, and we have Greggs. They all used to be, and Bobby Davis, or Bobby Jones, or whatever. They used to be friends, but now they operate their own flying services. So that you don't have to. It's a win-win situation, don't worry. Ah, shoot, I thought there was going to be a perfect chance to pause the game and look at that truck, but then it disappeared. Oh well. Probably wasn't even a good truck, and a good enough truck anyway. Try not to crash into the bus. I don't want to crash into the bus. Probably about through Ruston right now. Going through Ruston, Louisiana. Interesting town name. Currently 41 nautical miles away from Arcadia, which is not too far. About the distance from Newark to a little north of the Bronx, just outside of the Bronx. Maybe a little farther than that. Probably a little farther than that. Or what I meant, a lot more. Now clearly you can see that the bus has great textured. That would have been the perfect truck to get a picture of. You could clearly see that the buses have wipers visible, but the other vehicles, including the cars, well, some of the, oh no, we don't want to touch the road. We're sorry. Doing that series is coming soon, but not that soon. Where we just hang out on these roads. In just random locations. I tested it out by driving a section of I-10 from east of Houston into downtown Houston, and I just tried to get it up, but since I recorded it on FSX, it didn't really exactly record. It recorded, I'm thinking, an FSG or something like that, and I couldn't do that, or something like that. I don't know what it was exactly called. I just remember or guessed that it's in. Now, the cars have wipers. The trucks, some of them do. Probably most of them don't. What am I to say? There aren't many truck designs in the game. Since it's a flight sim, even in American Truck Sim, they only have a couple truck models. Any others are modifications made by just fans of American Truck Sim and other truck sims like Euro Truck and other truck sims. That's pretty much it. It's American Truck and Euro Truck. Wish they'd come up with an Asian truck sim or an Australian truck sim would just be plain awesome. I think if they did an Australian truck simulator, I think that I would just... It would be awesome. Okay, let me just say it in this way. It would just be awesome to have an Australian truck simulator. But first, we need a Middle East truck simulator. And it's Australian truck simulator, especially since in Australia, the trailers are literally 10 or 15. So for example, you see those trailers down there. You see that one, or maybe that one. That one's more like it. Or that one. Well, guess what they look like in Australia? They're just 10 of those tiny versions. For example, yellow trucking, kind of. Yellow trucking, ABF trucking, or another truck company that does it, I think is... Think about that for a second. We'll talk about other stuff real quick. FedEx also does it. Those truck companies, they have, except in Australia, they're 10 times the length. You'd literally be driving that many trailers, and since the roads are so straight, and since every single trailer is just coupled the same exact way, you're just basically driving a train. A road train, they call it in Australia. They call them road trains. And they're awesome, so Australian Truck Sim would just be the bomb. Please don't watch... I hope you're not watching this video in an airport. I'm just trying to see what that is, that design over there. This is the first time. I guess we'll never find out for a while. I could probably have just descended, but you know what? It's nearing the end of the episode, and we're 33 nautical miles away. It's probably on the airport list already, but we're not leaving the highway just yet, even if it says that, because we still have a long way. Now we still have Williams flying service. We don't have other flying services, I see. Don't ask me why. I could probably easily just take a Cessna and roar it down a strip of desert road, maybe in California or Nevada or Utah or Colorado. Yeah, Colorado also has it. I could just place a little road and... I could just use a little road, see the traffic that's generated, and I could use the Cessna, and I'm not going to hit any trees. Even here, I'm not hitting any trees at the moment. Because we are currently just driving at this point. And not that. It's not that. It's because the highway is spread out enough. It's wide enough. And this is a lot of empty space here. Maybe if we spot a interesting truck from here, we'll be able to tell what it is from here. Because we're pretty low to the ground right now. Oh, snap. That wasn't good. Near collision with a tree. And near touchdown on the ground. Now, nearest airport list. What does it say now? Wait, 5 Foxtrot 0. Arcadia, Beanville Parish. 2-5 Foxtrot. Alright, well, I'm guessing 32. 32. Ah, we just missed it. We just missed it. That really sucks. That really sucks. That there's the truck right there and we just missed it. That really sucks. We could have seen it. Doesn't matter because there's one right here that we can see. It actually doesn't look like there's a big palm tree. What was I even saying it was? I thought it was a beach scene. It more looks like a desert scene. Or something like that. Now let's see. So what does it say? What's our track? Our track is currently 270, even though we're currently 271, and the desired track is about 277. So what I'm gonna do is... No, not 277. It wants us to go to 250. But you know what? I'm sure if we were good at trigonometry or something like that, I'd be able to exactly figure out what we could convert the desired track. But for now, we're just gonna guess that the desired track is about 261, and that's gonna be final. So I'm gonna change the heading bug here to 261. And I'm going to go in this view, and I'm going to full throttle it, and we're going to go high above the trees. Since we don't have an autopilot here, we can only use the heading bug to help us. Now, I do believe that this is a little off, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the heading bug a couple degrees. It's about 268. 270 would even be good. Actually, not 270. even 265. Let's do 265. Right in between both numbers. And we just fly now, pretty much. Let me see what it says here. We don't even have it on our list yet. So technically we can't exactly do this, so let's zoom in. You know what, the heading bug doesn't necessarily help the fact, it just mocks it. But we're not exactly moving up to hold on, what am I even talking about, LOL? What I was talking about was, it's not helping us keep in a steady direction, it's just helping us with where the steady heading is. Alright, so phone map can go to the dogs. I'm gonna leave it on where we're gonna write down the time, and we're pretty much gonna now probably not silence, because maybe once we get closer to the airport we'll have some silence. At this rate, no silence needed. Gonna change it a couple degrees now. We're still waiting for 5 Foxtrot 0, which is going to be easy to find in the middle of nowhere. Not too easy to find when you're flying through huge metropolitan area of El Paso or Las Cruces, which will be 2 locations that we're going to be crossing through along the way. I've not calculated yet whether or not we're going to be ending an episode in El Paso or in Las Cruces, but I can tell you this, we're passing through it. We're gonna at least fly over it, whether or not we're landing there or not. We're still flying through it. We have to make it to, we're trying to get to California. California is the end of this leg. There are 4 legs on this trip. From where I live, where I live in real life, to Atlanta, Georgia, and then from here to El Monte in Los Angeles, California. Then we're gonna head up north to San Jose area. The actual town is called Campbell, California. And then we head east, all the way to where we have to go in, I think this town is called, I believe it's called, jeez, what's going on? Alright, I'm gonna put the heading bug back on normal now. I think the town is called Oswego, that's what it's called, Oswego. Or or probably as you call it, Oswego, same thing. No 5 Foxtrot 0 yet, so we're just gonna fly. What airfield is this, though? This is obviously not 0 Lima Sierra Niner or 40 Lima Alpha. Oh no! No, hurry up. Oh shoot, that's not good. That's not good at all. Let's pray the game doesn't crash. If the game crashes, you're still getting the episode. We just won't land. Let's just pray that it doesn't crash after what we just did. That was not that either. Was it It was Kilo Romeo Sierra November. That's what it was. How far are we, though? We're still 18 nautical miles and 8 minutes away. We still have some conversation to bring up. We still have a while to go. So you know what? You're gonna think I'm crazy, but we're gonna do a road trip game. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh boy, we can't play a road trip game because this is YouTube. But you know what? It's not a road trip game. Because technically this is called I Spy. Now, it's not going to be your normal game, boring game of I Spy. I spy a red roofed house with a white door. Is it that one or that one? That one or that one? That one or that one? Exactly. It's going to be an area. It'll be an exact location. So, for example, if I said I spy a random stick in the sky, you would say that. Which is not a random stick, it's a cell tower. Or if I spy a sandy pit that's whiter in color than you think it is, you'd circle that. If I said I spy a parking lot, if I said I spy something that looks like a road with something that looks like two cars are parked there, you'd say there, even though those are two bushes. See what I mean? And now a whole minute has gone by. And then I spy a really rural, white pavement road. You would say this. Alright, enough with the I spy for now. Because I spy is kind of a little bit weird. Maybe if you're in New York City or in a big city, maybe even Phoenix, which we'll be passing through in cross-country flight. Wait, don't tell me we're following the road. We're not following the road. Did we just conform to the road? No, we did not conform to the road. Five Foxtrot 0 now. Yes, so we still have a while to go before we get to our destination. So we're just gonna talk. I don't want to go into silence just yet. I don't even know what the airfield looks like, so technically we can't do anything about it. We're just gonna have to keep flying, enjoy the beautiful scenery. Another thing you should also probably enjoy is just the fact that you're enjoying some flight simulator, and we having random conversations. Another thing that we're talking about is Euro Truck. So I've been contacting Steam support. They still haven't gotten back to me. I gave him the code. I forgot to write the ticket number. I need to take the game, which I'm holding right now, and I need to open it up and send it over there. I'm not going to do it now, obviously. I'm going to leave it. I'm just gonna cut this part out, and I will get back to you. So I placed the game on the table so that I don't forget to do that, because I just realized I need to do that. So Euro Truck multiplayer probably won't be coming out this week. It'll probably be next week when I have to bring out the Euro Truck. And by the way, you'll probably be amazed, because there are so many idiots in Euro Truck Sim. You'll be laughing your pants off. Literally. You'll probably be laughing your pants off. Maybe I'll do a MP vlog in American Truck Sim, and I'll show you an entire trip, and I'll only do one trip. Or I'll do 2 trips instead of 3 trips, and I'll just cut stuff out, but I'll have less to cut out. I don't see how there's going to be an airfield or a clearing in anywhere around here, because how far are we from our location, from our destination? We're still 8 nautical miles, but we're 3 minutes away, which is far when you just want to already land and get on with your life. I haven't had an episode in forever, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you this in the beginning of the episode. I just got a little occupied with the new scenery and the new state, everything. Oh, I think I see the clearing. yeah, there haven't been many videos because I just haven't felt like doing any. I tried to get FSX to work. Big fail. Not FSX to work. I've been experimenting with I've been doing a lot of FSX flights and speeding them up and all that, and testing out the recording feature, which sucks on FSX because none of my programs work. I'm gonna have to find a program that can do FSG files so that I can have some videos that don't have any talking in them. Now we must be getting close to our destination at this point. We sure are. Look at that. Only 5 nautical miles separate us from our destination in Arcadia. Now you're probably, as I always am when I'm watching my favorite YouTubers, you always just say, more content, more content! But you know what? This is enough content. A nice, boring flight. By the way, at the time I'm publishing this, there aren't many views. If you're watching this, congratulations. You enjoy my channel. And I'm not stopping cross-country flight all because you don't like it. Not because I'm selfish, but the point of cross-country flight is to keep flying. If I just stopped back in Atlanta when it got unpopular, then what was the point in starting it? And there's still so much more scenery. And already, I told you about that one YouTuber who I won't mention here, who tried to do a trans-universal flight across the world, and he has done it all on streams, and I can't watch this guy's streams because I'm not up at midnight to watch them every day. And on Saturdays, he's doing it from 11:30 at night my local time to 5 a.m. my local time. Over where he lives is 9:30 to 3. Not that bad. He just has to sleep. He just goes to bed late on Saturdays. Every other day, he has a 2-hour stream, and I never get to watch them. Next time I leave the time zone, which will not be anytime soon, if I go to Salt Lake City, or if I... Here's the field, guys. Now we have to find out which runway we're landing on now. Currently we are going... First of all, I need to know where the runway is. I think I see it. Let me... Okay, well, what we stalled on was to put the flaps down, which is what we're going to do now. Oh, I see the strip. Flaps are going down. Throttle is going to be cut for a second as I go into the virtual cockpit and try to land this sucker. Alright, so now, sharp descent. But then, I'm going to pause, go back into this view, make a wide curve. I don't want to go around, doesn't matter, we don't need to go around because watch this. We're just going to land it right here. Successful landing. Then we're just going to pull over, right over here. We're going to put up the flaps. We're going to stop the aircraft right here. Just right here. And then we're going to turn off all the lights. Anything else we need to turn off? Nothing. Turn off the master switches, turn off the avionics. Alright. Successful little flight there. And that was a very cool flight. We just went from Edwards, Mississippi to Arcadia, Louisiana via the I-20 and a little bit of forest driving. I mean flying. But that's about it. I hope that I can do Euro Truck Sim multiplayer this weekend, but I don't know yet. We're gonna have to wait and see. It might have to be next weekend which, no big deal. Thanksgiving weekend, but no big deal. Anyway, that's all. I wish that these trees were at least swaying in the breeze. Now we need to quickly turn on the avionics and record that it's 11:54:40. And then off goes the phone map, and I will see you on Saturday for another episode of whatever we decide to do. So I'm gonna say goodbye for now. And I'll be saying hello later, obviously, Saturday. Bye.